Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Conversations with Jeff. Oh, man, we bring guests in from all over the world, all different types of backgrounds, business, health, relationships, you name that, the things that you're seeking to find information from, right? And leaving their story about their journey through the battle of the comeback, how they mastered the stinking thinking. You guys know how we like to give you some perspective around that, right? And with that, giving you, our listener, some other ammunition to deal with the life stressors that come up, nationally disasters that are happening all over the world, right? One of the things there, and then just, the political climates that are changing, and more importantly, how you deal with the day-to-day stinking thinking, that worry about things you really can't control or past experiences that are still haunting you. And most importantly, changing those thoughts and giving you some belief in yourself and leaving you knowing that you are worthy. Filling your soul with gratitude today, baby. So as always, our goal is to give you those things right now today. Help change the direction of your thinking. Help uplift the attitudes that we all need to focus on a daily basis. And most importantly, as I mentioned before, to remind you that you are worth it and that nothing shall stop you from reaching your destiny. You shall not be denied, baby. All right, so come on with me, man. So those of you that don't know me, my name is Jeff Tyson, and I'm known as the Comeback King. I got that name from folks that have spent time with me throughout my life, and the results of working together with me in particular, helping them find their journey, helping them master their stinking thinking, and realizing, like I'm always telling you about, that they are worthy, and just like you are worthy as well, right? So today, check it out. The name of the show today is Unlock Your Grant Writing Potential. AI is your key to getting paid. Woo, hey, listen, however you feel about AI, like anything else in the world, when certain things come along, the change is made, things are going to be in place. I always encourage people to get on the change train, baby. Don't get caught up in the wave, be the wave, get in front of the wave. And things like grant writing and ghost writing, all those processes, man, they may be impacted. I say may, they're all going to be impacted by that. But it doesn't have to be a bad thing. And our guest today, man, this young lady is just an awesome friend and very talented. She's an author. She's a coach. She's a woman that kicked health issues in the butt over 7 days and went, all these other things that she's finding, and she's been helping people. And this is just another glimpse of what she's got to talk to you about today. So my friend, the ghostwriter extraordinaire, the grant writing queen, I've got all types of names for her, but one thing for sure, we've got her here today. And guess what? She's got a surprise for you coming up in March. I think I might be able to twist her arm to provide a service for us in the middle of February. So no longer yakking my chat. I'm going to introduce to you today my friend from Vegas, Terry Liggins. Let's get her up here. What's up?
Hello, what's up, Jeff? How are you?
I'm good. And thank you for being here today. And normally we just chat about life and some other things, but as I mentioned earlier, this is about grant writing and AI and giving some people, really want to talk, to people, Terry, that have been in the grant writing business, right? And their proposals oftentimes are turned down and they're feeling like they're lacking the impact. And I wrote down a couple notes: struggling. So that person there, and there's a person struggling to capture the funder's attentions. Mm-hmm. Right? And this is something I believe that the grant hosts do on purpose. This is just a Jeffism. They make it so doggone complicated. It's like a maze. Right? Trying to figure out how to get through it and get the right grant and then being in the selection at the final of it. So we don't have all day today. I wish we did. We're going to possibly get you back and have some training. But, let's, first of all, I hope I did your introduction good. If there's anything I left out, pick up there, or we can get right to it.
You covered it all. You did a great job. And if there was anything left off, it just probably wasn't important to bring up at this point anyway. Right. I thank you for having me here. And yes, in the times that we've met here in the past, we've talked about health and wellness, but the other side of me is the writing side, something I've been doing for 25 years. And in fact, they're connected because it was because of the health issues that I suffered 25 years ago that led me to leave corporate America and then make my hobby a business. I always loved writing, and then I began making it a business because what else am I going to do sitting at home and not being able to go into an office? So I have been doing that over the past 25 years, writing books and helping people publish those books, articles, just you name it, articles, press releases, business brochures and such. So now, for the past 10 years, even before getting fully into grant writing, for the past almost decade, I've been doing government proposal writing.
Mm.
So I'm here to tell you, if anyone, just like those situations that you mentioned where people saying, oh, it's too hard to write a grant and, they're asking for so much or whatever, consider yourself very fortunate to be dealing with a grant and not a RFP, RFQ, RFIs, all of those that are under the umbrella of government contracting.
Yeah, I think they write them and they laugh as they write them, wondering how many calls they're going to get, how many complaints they're going to get. I mean, nothing against those folks that are doing it, but it is really just a cluster.
It is, and you're not even allowed to call them. You're not.
Yeah, you can't reach them. You know, if you don't have the connections and the experience or an expert like you to kind of look at things, it really makes a difference, Terry. And so,
yeah.
But all that just gave you more training, I believe, and preparation to do the grant writing. And so talk to us. What kind of grants, right? Well, I got a couple of other questions, but I guess we talk about grants, and I always thought it was mostly all government grants, and that's the only source. But maybe you kind of shed some reality, real truth to that, and why this is a good time for people to really pay attention if they want to get some money.
Yeah, well, now is the time. There are billions of dollars out there that are just left on the table because a lot of individuals just don't know about these grants. Now, a large portion of that are federal grants, sure, but there are private organizations that are offering grants galore. There are nonprofit as well as profit organizations. There are the people who have brought themselves up by, lifted themselves up by the bootstraps and are now doing very well, and they want to give back. Maybe they were given a grant that helped them get to where they are today, and they are offering grants out of their own pocket. These are entrepreneurs who are doing well, offering grants. So there are various places. Now, the thing to remember is that grants are not to be paid back. That's the wonderful part. You don't.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, right. So if you're a new startup and you need funding, and as we have to typically do, reach in our own pocket, know that there's an alternative to that. You can get a grant. There are grants for you name it, and you could probably find a grant for a lot of little niches. There are state grants, local grants that are. Did you want me to list some of the areas?
And talk, just I know we talked about mini grants and larger grants. So yeah, go ahead. You're doing great.
Okay. So a lot of people don't realize that Verizon, T-Mobile, Comcast, they give grants all the time. They offer grants all the time. You can just go on their website and look for it, and they're offering grants. And they have time limits, expiration dates. They have things that you need to look for as far as eligibility. There are also startup grants, as I mentioned. If you have an idea, you don't even have to have it fully fleshed out. You don't have to have a business plan all the way finished if you are a startup, and there are grants for you. And industry specific grants, whereas, the tech, care, there are grants that may be very specific, like if you were, I don't know, born in the state of Ohio and you are a Buckeyes fan who now lives outside of Ohio, there's a grant for you. I've just made that one up. but you never know. Look it up.
Well, that's true. That's true. Because I told you I met a young man in the trucking business, and his grant size was, it was $15,000, and it was a organization that was providing funding. They weren't government related. He had to do some training. Sometimes if they require training, but he was able to do that. New business, $15,000, right?
Yeah.
Don't have to pay it back, $15,000, and in his business from that, he's got several trucks now, and he's growing more business from that. So this stuff does work. It is out there.
It does work. It does work. And the important thing is you have to work it. You have to work the system. That's where I come in as a ghostwriter, writing consultant, and grant writer. I can help you navigate, because the thing is, while there is no payback that has to be done, there's also no guarantee.
That's right. That's right.
So you could submit and not get it. A lot of times you'll find out why, though. They're not obligated to, but sometimes they'll let you know what caused them to not select yours. A lot of time they're just inundated with various things, so that they, don't feel bad if they don't get back to you, because they can't. So that's, again, where I come in, where I help you to know what it is they're looking for. And one of the, there's 4 key things. One that I'll list them all, but I'll focus on one for sake of time. First thing, you must have a clear vision of your financial goals. You can't go in there saying, give me some money. That'd be nice. You would have to let them know.
Do that, man. We're laughing, but that happens. I know some people, man.
I know, and they want to blame the company or the grantor and say, well, they were unfair. No, some of us wouldn't give $50 to someone without knowing what it is you're going to use it for. The second thing is identifying and eliminating obstacles that hinder the progress. That means be eligible for that grant. Don't just think, you need the money and they have it to give. You're going to, write out the application and they're going to give it. No, you must be eligible. For instance, are you a woman-owned business, meaning you own 51% of the company, 51% and more of that company? Are you registered as a minority company? Are you in this particular state? They may have grants that you have to live in Nevada and not just vacation there, but your permanent residence has to be in Nevada before you are qualified for that loan, for that grant. Number 3, a thorough understanding of the grant funding process. And that one I'll talk about and in a little more in depth. And then the 4th one, developing a reliable system for securing the grant funding. So actually those last 2 go hand in hand. Understanding the grant funding process. This is where writing comes into play. And being a ghostwriter, it's easy for me to transition into this because it's all about your story.
That's right.
You have to pull at the heartstrings of the grantor. You have to know what it is what their mission is, what their vision is, why they are offering this money, and then you have to align with it. So knowing what their funding process is a matter of how can you tweak yours to match that, what's real and true about yours, and then making sure that all the I's are dotted, all the T's are crossed, but that story hits them.
I love that, Terry, and I'm listening to you. I'm thinking, because part of this conversation is also centered around AI, and I want to speak to those folks out there that say, okay, I'm going to rank this grant, I'm going to use AI, and man, here's what I caution you to do. Yes, do that, but listen to what she's saying around all of the nuances and all the things that are innate in that process that AI is not going to be able to help you understand. So you may write the same mistake over and over and over again. So that's what I love about the fact that you are progressive Terry, and understand that, hey, listen, this is where it is, and making AI be a part, helping those that say, hey, I just need some direction on AI. And some people are hard headed and stubborn, and they're going to go bump their head and learn a lesson, which is cool, right? And but you'll still help them with that piece of it. So, with AI is here in this conversation, guys. So I want you to know that the power of direction is invaluable. The gift that you experience that you do. So anyway, I want to.
Yeah. Yeah. And these aren't suggestions that they're giving, right? They want you to present it exactly this. If you do not have the exact certifications, don't even bother. Don't waste your time. Don't waste their time, because it's going to go in the trash when they get it. If you are something that you say you're not, and definitely being in business and having an EIN number, that indicates that you are really a business. You can be a nonprofit also. Keep that in mind. You can get funding as a nonprofit, as a sole proprietor, as a corporation, those are just ways to identify yourself, and again connect with the funding organization. And you don't want to. There's so many people. There is a lot of stiff competition out there. So many people have the same idea and want that same money coming to them. So that is why you have to be tight on how you sell yourself and the write up. And AI can help you do that, but only to enhance what you've already done. You can't just let AI write everything for you and you submit it and think that's going to work. It will not work. It will not work. There are ways that people can determine if it's AI written, number one. Number two, a lot of maybe the individual funders run in the same circle. The investors, they run in the same circle, the angel investors and all that. And your story may hit one person's desk, and they're talking with someone else, and you may now say that you've been 10 years in the trucking industry and you've only been 1 year in it. Just little things like that. You have to just really be authentic.
Authentic and work with integrity around what it is.
Yes. But know that the money is out there for you. So don't be shy to go out and get it. And if you don't have time to write the grants, if you don't want to learn how AI can help you write the grants in half the time that it would have taken you without AI, if you just have no clue where to begin to search for those grants, I'm here to help you do that.
Yeah. And I like that too, and incorporating AI plus the other traditional ways of doing it. And I want to, I want to write a grant, and I've never written one before, but I have a really good business. Hey, I'm gonna do this thing on my own. Thank you for your help. What is it? What would be one thing that you would caution? I mean, there's a lot. For those folks that are like me, that sometimes do it on our own, and then we realize we need help, or we figure out how to do it, and we spend more time doing it, wasting time. What would be one thing that because we want to help those folks too. Everybody, it's not just one particular individual. It's just whoever needs the help. If we can help you, we're trying to do it. What would you suggest to that person, Terry, that's out there like that? To be careful for, to look out for.
Yeah. I would say, first of all, treat it like a business. Treat it as something that is very much an extension of your business that you have right now. Because once you win the money, then you have to manage it properly. So it doesn't stop with just getting the money. You have to set yourself up properly to win. Hunt for the ones that are in your wheelhouse. Don't waste time writing something that you're not qualified for, or if you win, And then also you don't want to sell yourself short. Say there's $1 million grant out there, and you're saying, "Oh, I'm just a one-person business. That's out of my league." It doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
You can partner with a large entity that also, is in that area, write the grant together, and then win that $1 million grant. So that's another big thing I would say, is that there's so many ways, so many possibilities. Do not sell yourself short when it comes to applying for them in the first place.
Yeah, I love that, the idea around collaboration, which is one of the new currencies, right?
Yep.
And finding people that are the who in your business that you don't have, not so much what or how, it's the who that really kind of drives everything. And even with the AI world and everything's moving so quickly and shifting and changing, I always suggest to people, find the who that, understands the things that you don't, that has the blind spots covered. And because like you said, and that's what's so powerful. People I don't know if you understand that background that she talks about in government RFPs and all of the things that go along with. But I wish I knew what the statistic was around how many of those initial ones get rejected. Don't even get open. Don't even look just because
I know. I have met a proposal. Well, the thing is, when you're looking at the federal grants and you're looking at the federal RFIs and RFPs and such, there's not a person with a proposal writing title or grant writing title, or not a grant reader title, I should say, or proposal reader. That is not their title. They are doing this in addition to a whole lot of other things that are part of their job description. That is why don't expect them to be very patient with a grant application or RFQ or RFP proposal that is not done right.
Yeah.
They are not going to sit all day and read a stack of these to know who to award it to. So their first job is to eliminate.
I love that. Find out what's wrong. I don't care what's in it. I want to see what's wrong, so I don't have to open it up.
I don't have to read it any further. Yep. And they probably have a checklist that just, I know from experience, there was a time where one of the proposals that we submitted as a company that I was writing for, submitted it, and they rejected back saying, "Oh, it didn't have this." It was a minor thing too. Like the person didn't have their address, the company address there, their company phone number, and We had to send it back and protest, send it back and say it was in the letterhead. It was in the, but they must have had some type of device that reads it.
Yes.
Not from the letterhead, but in the body of what they wanted. Oh, wow. So it's like, yeah, you will be eliminated if you don't answer exactly what they're asking.
Yeah.
And don't leave it up for, any type of gray area to skip in there,
Yes and no, can I have it back? Because most of our business has been in the private sector, but when we did get into certifications, I remember, seeking out somebody to make sure that they could take care of the grant writing process or the RFP for us, because we were again in the private sector, hearing all the stories about people that had the numbers were right, everything was right, but they made, they didn't have the final look. Right? You got to have the final look. You're that kind of final look person. So, we're kind of getting close to what we wanted to commit time-wise, because I know you have other things to do, and I appreciate you hopping in. And for those of you that are here or watching this recording, make sure you share this information with your friends and your business owners. And even though there's a lot of things changing in the current new administration, there's still opportunities in the grant writing world. There's still money to be collected in the grant writing world. And AI is here to play in the grant writing world. if you listen and you hear and you have more questions, you want to stay tuned. So there'll be some things we want to from Terry that you want to do about it. So Terry, how do people get a hold of you, as we wind up, and tell us what you got going on in the 1st of March?
Okay. Alrighty. Yes. To get a hold of me very easily, just type in terryliggins.com. Just as you see my name right there. Terry, TerryLiggins.com. And when you go there, it's, I think maybe like the second link down or something. You can click there to schedule a discovery call with me. Now, the discovery call doesn't take long, and I generally only do 15 minutes, but for anyone who is contacting me from this program, I'll give you the whole 45 minutes that the calendar allows for, 45 minutes to just really get an idea of what your company is about, what your project is about, what it is you need funding for, and how I can help you train you to do it yourself or write it for you. And speaking of training you, March 1st will be an in-person, yes, grant writing workshop. I like to call it clinic. And it's I believe it's definitely the first weekend in March. I'm not sure if it's the actual.
And while you're looking at that, Terry, is the email terryliggins.com?
terryliggins.com.
Okay.
Yes, terryliggins.com. That's my link tree, and it will then take you to the other areas. I have some freebies on there as well. So always grab a free downloadable ebook or something like that. And but yes, March 1st, and the time and location will be given later. But you will get hands-on help, and with other people in the room, you're getting good feedback as well. But I'll go through an actual application to show you how to, look for the things that are very necessary, and several different applications, because there's difference in length of them, what they're asking for. Some ask for a video, even like a one video of your elevator pitch. And so, yeah, so we'll be doing that. And I know, Jeff, as you mentioned earlier, we'll look to schedule something in February as well, as far as an online type of presentation to give you some information that you need. You don't have to wait all the way to March.
That'd be great. And in that one too, probably there's going to be a VIP option in there for the recordings and some other little lessons that you have time to share with them. So we'll make sure you stay with me, guys, and we'll get that out to you. We'll run some ads around that. So Terry, it's always good to have you here. Always good to see you seeking ways to find people and use your expertise to do that. What do you want to say to that person that is has a business, has a cash need, and is not for sure? Heard all these things and still not for sure. What do you say to that person? How can you get them off the thing before you leave?
Yes, I would say get in the game. You do not have to be left behind thinking that you don't qualify or that there's no way you could possibly win that money. Don't be afraid of it when you receive it. Handle it properly so that you can then win more and more. There's no limit to how many grants you can win. That's the other great thing. And we have micro grants. Those are the smaller ones. So that's why I say don't hesitate, jump in. There is a place for you, especially if we're talking micro grants. They're the ones that are like $1,000, $2,000, up to $50,000. So, hey, can $2,000 make a difference to you this month, next month? I think so. So we don't have to just be afraid and thinking that there's just $1 million grants out there that are only for the big guys. No, for you as well.
Right. Right, I love that. And it's not so much that you don't qualify; it's that the documentation isn't in order to get
Yes,
looked at.
for sure that.
Having it in order and everything else. So, well, hey, listen, Terry. Thank you for, as always, carving out some time to spend with us here, and man, look forward to what we put together in February, and then also your course. Now, those that can also then probably move in. They're making any investment in February. They can apply that to maybe what they get into for your cost in Vegas. So that y'all talked about.
Sure.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Well, listen, my friend. Thank you so much.
Thank
As
you.
always, and
I know.
keep being great. And we'll talk to you soon. Huh?
Thank you. Bye-bye.
So anyway, guys, listen, I just want to have this conversation today with Terry because I've heard so many things around trying to find money, trying to get loans as a business owner, and understanding that, hey, man, how about some money out there that you don't have to pay back, or there's certain requirements that may make it a little more difficult to get, but really is available for you, and it's available now, and no matter what administration's in there, there's still going to be some money. But I will tell you this, that corporate side and that government side, there's things changing every day, right? So you're taking advantage of what's out there and what's already allocated for 2025. I don't believe they can stop those things. I don't know for sure. I don't know. But what's it worth to you to get connected and understand that, hey, I don't have to do this by myself. I don't have to have all the experience. It's about the who in this world. Find out who the who is in your space, whatever you're doing, and get attached and make some stuff happen. So I encourage you to stay tuned for what we've got planned in February, working out the details and your workshop, and go and dive deep into some of the things that, you can leave it in that workshop having somewhat of a foundation around the first step in getting started, and then maybe even giving you some opportunities to get registered for limited rooms in the class in March and live in Vegas. So as always, Conversations with Jeff, we're about helping you master that stinking thinking, and we always challenge you to remind yourself each and every day as you go through the process of the day that life isn't about the stress, life isn't about the worry, life isn't about the stinking thinking that shows up all the time, and it's about what do you do differently? How can you stop that? Like today's lesson is about finding somebody that can help you. I encourage you, those of you out there who have been following me, let's get connected. If you go back and look, you'll see where the calendar link is there for me to connect. And we're just opening now with the new business foundation of, Comeback King Enterprises, which is in coaching and consulting. And man, we got some things that you don't want to miss. So yeah, have a fantastic day. Go back and listen to this. Get ready for the next event. And we'll see you on the next episode of Conversations with Jeff. Thanks and have a great day.